Hey guys, in this video I'm going to explain how the TNT Duper works on the PlayStation and then go into just a little bit about the flying machines that I use with it um, to kind of help clarify what's been going on in the last couple of videos. Uh, First, a disclaimer, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't really plan to be. I've been using this as a medium to kind of share some of the projects in my server with a couple friends of mine. And on the PlayStation, there's no simple way to share videos through the messaging app other than like using YouTube. But I'm glad some of you guys have found them interesting. So let me kind of explain what's going on and help you out. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask and I'll get to them when it's convenient to do so. So anyway, let's get into the TNT Duper on the PlayStation. It's real simple to use. You're going to need the items I have. Probably about a dozen slime blocks, a couple detector rails, a minecart, a TNT, a lever, and a few sticky pistons. And that's it. That's all you need. So let's kind of go into this. Let's get a little bit away from the wall here. Okay, to start, you're going to have to make kind of a U shape with slime blocks, just like this. Easy enough. Now what you're going to do is you're going to build this shape off the side. So a 2x2 going down, going down, and then one on top like this. So that's the shape you're going to need. Now you're going to take your TNT and you're going to put it in the corner here just like that. Now you're going to knock out the slime blocks that are touching the faces of the TNT. So this one's touching the face, so I'm going to knock that out carefully, especially on creative mode. And this one also is touching the face of the TNT, so I'm going to knock that out carefully. I'm going to take my detector rails, and I'm going to place a detector rail here, and I'm going to go up to the top of the U, and I'm going to place a detector rail down there. Another one on the U, I'm going to push a minecart, just like that. Now, 1, 2, 3, delete these, and we're going to put 2 sticky pistons here. The first sticky piston is going to be what we're going to use to prime the duper, and the second one is the one we're going to be using to utilize the duper. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do is we need to prime the duper with this first sticky piston. So we're going to turn it on and off. Now you saw how that pulled everything together, and now this duper is ready to rock. Now the point of this is this sticky piston would then be attached to, let's say, a flying machine. Okay, you could use it right here just like it is, just by doing this. And let's show you from the other side. Just like that. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. However, if you want to use this in conjunction with the flying machine, it's going to take a little bit more work. But if you wanted to just to dig a little hole, that's all you need. Okay, so that's the duper. So let's talk a little bit about flying machines to kind of get you familiar with them. So we'll move over here. So the basic, a very simple flying machine, the one that I use kind of as my basis here on the PlayStation, is you're going to start with a sticky piston into a slime block with another sticky piston reaching into another slime block. So these are basically chained together. Okay, you're going to want an immovable object, and you're going to need observers. So we could ditch this stuff we needed for that, just like that. Okay. So now that we have this, let's go ahead and place an immovable object on one side and the other to keep it blocked in. We need a couple slime blocks on top of our sticky pistons to make this part a little bit easier. We're going to go to our observer. They're going to face down, so we need to look up. We're going to come to this side. And we're going to place this observer here, facing down into that slime block. So basically those observers are going to update when the other sticky piston moves, and therefore they're going to charge the other sticky piston, and this thing's going to be a flying machine. So this is the basic premise. So I'll show you. If we were to move our movable wall here, and if I were to update this close sticky piston, there's If I were to update this close observer, it's going to send this thing forward. Just like that. So that's the basic flying machine. And back. And back. Okay? So now all we need to do is come up with a way to automate sending it back and forth. Okay? So, an easy way to do that. Well, you got a couple options. Alright, let me show you over here. So here we have the same flying machine. And what I did with the first option is to straight out from this observer, if you were to place a piston at this point. So straight out, over one, and up one. And if you were to place a piston there with a lever on it, a way to activate it. So all what this is just going to be a manual way to update that observer to send it back and forth. Just like that. I got a little movable wall here to stop it. So basically we need to stop the machine and then we need to update the observer. Okay, this will make sense as we go. We need to stop the machine and then update the observer. So we're going to send it off by updating the back observer. There it goes. It's going to stop against the wall, and then now we just need to update this observer. And it goes back. Alright, so that's the basic premise. You need to update the back observer when the machine's together like this to send it forward and backwards. Okay, so now we're going to take this one step further. We're going to automate one half of this. Just like that. Okay, so there's another way. Let's move this wall. Here's another technique. You're using an updater, which is just a slime block looking up, or a sticky piston looking up into a slime block, redstone block on top, and just a block on the side that's going to update the observer. So that observer is going to nestle right here, and it's going to activate that slime block, and then you're going to see how it updates it. So let's look at this technique. Just like that, you saw it update itself. And this technique's a little bit more useful when you're using this in congruence with multiple flying machines, okay? So that could be connected to a different flying machine and update this as it were to go. Okay, so that's for further down the road. Another way to do this, if you're just doing a quarry, or let's say what I use this for often is if I need to clear a slime chunk or two, and I want a fixed position this is going to stop at. So I need to automate this piston right here at the end of the run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a slime block right next to that one, and then I'm going to place an observer looking down into that slime block. Okay? So now what this is going to do is when this gets to that point, that observer is going to trigger this piston, which then as this extends is going to update the other observer and bring the flying machine back. Okay, so let's watch this. And it's back. So this is all what we would need at the end of the run to bring the whole flying machine back. Okay? Now, how this works with our TNT Duper is we're going to have a sticky piston underneath it. Like that. And that sticky piston is the one that connects to our duper. So it's two sticky pistons. We make a U. This shape in the front. We grab the items we need. TNT. Rail. Delete. Rail. Cart. Looks good. Now we need to prime it. Just like that. So now, all together, Uh-oh, look out, Chief. There's our duper with a simple flying machine. And make sure you place it high enough away from obstacles that the TNT's not going to bounce back and destroy the whole machine. Okay? So that's the basic idea. Duper with a flying machine. I'm going to send you guys a link to a video by Hux, who's a PlayStation Minecrafter. He hasn't posted in a while, but he'll show you how you can get this to stop and restart at this end and go into more details on that. I'm not going to steal his thunder. So I'm going to link a video of his showing how you can automate that end of the process. And definitely check him out. He's got some good stuff for PlayStation content. So anyway, that's the basic premise. If you have any questions, let me know. Or if you want me to expand on it, let me know.